U.S. Representative Max Miller of Ohio was driving somewhere. It doesn't matter where he was driving. When he was ran off the road by Dr. Feras Hamdan. Yes, a family medicine physician. And the entire reason to do that is so that Hamdan could threaten Miller and Miller's family. This is a pro-Palestine attack. You got that right. Pro-Palestine attack. This happened, what, Thursday? Not a lot of people are covering this. Some folks are, some aren't. Miller's a Marine veteran who's serving there in Ohio. He's Jewish. So that's another reason why an Iran backed Palestine supporter is willing to do this. Because, Hamas, who these folks are actually supporting, they're not supporting Palestine, they're supporting Hamas because that is the government in the region. And they get their money from Iran. And some of it from Qatar. But that's to make peace with Iran over the oil, the the LNG, natural gas. But this is what's happening in America. But hey, before I get too far into it, please hit like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Thank y'all for letting me get to 500. So, let's let you hear a bit of the local news on this.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Concern is growing about the safety of our nation's lawmakers.
And now those attacks are hitting close to home. Tonight, a doctor is slapped with a restraining order accused of trying to run U.S. Congressman Max Miller off I-90 near Rocky River.
This morning, as I was driving to work, some unhinged, deranged man decided to lay on his horn and run me off the road when he couldn't get my attention to show me a Palestinian flag. Not to mention death to Israel, death to me, that he wanted to kill me and my family.
Today, that physician was in court, and News 5's Maya Lockett was there. Maya, what's Congressman Miller saying about all of this?
We spoke with Congressman Miller earlier today, and he told me he was afraid for his life during this incident. He says he truly feels as though he was targeted for being Jewish and a supporter of Israel. But he told me, looking back at the incident, he's grateful that his daughter was not in the truck with him.
It went from an individual trying to get my attention that he couldn't to then using his vehicle as a weapon to swerve into my lane.
The incident started around 9:15 Thursday morning. While driving on 90 East and Rocky River, U.S. Representative Max Miller claims Feras Hamdan was screaming at him from the driver window and eventually showed him a picture of a Palestinian flag on his phone, followed by a threat to him and his family's life.
He looked at me and he said, you're Max Miller. I know where you live. I'm going to kill you and your family. And he said, free Palestine and death to Israel.
Immediately after, Miller called the Rocky River Police Department, but the suspect left the scene before officers responded. After further investigation, Congressman Miller signed a criminal complaint for aggravated menacing and a motion for a criminal protection order against Hamdan.
That is the best way, in my opinion, how we can continue to fight back and not hide against this type of hate and just continue to suit up and to do our jobs as everyday Americans, regardless of political affiliation, to address this type of hate across the board.
Thursday evening, Rocky River Police issued a warrant for his arrest. Hamdan turned himself in. In court on Friday, Hamdan received an additional charge for ethnic intimidation and pled not guilty.
These are real serious allegations here, and it's not going to happen under my watch. Someone's going to be harmed.
The prosecution originally asked for a $25,000 bond, but Judge Burke settled on a $500,000 cash bond because of the targeted and deadly shootings against Minnesota lawmakers and their families last week.
These are very serious charges. We're talking about a sitting United States congressman who was allegedly targeted because of his ethnicity, because he was Jewish. These are really serious things.
The defense argues that he has never committed a crime. He's a respected physician in the community and claims these allegations are false.
I think what is going on here, unfortunately, is you have Congressman Miller is playing a game where he is turning my client into a sacrificial lamb to gain political points. And I think that's such a dangerous game, especially in this time. Congressman Miller, at this point, is standing on a pedestal of false victimhood.
If Hamdan makes bail, he must surrender his passport and wear a GPS monitoring device. The defense did ask for a trial jury, so there is a pre-trial scheduled for July 8th. And coming up on News 5 at 6, we'll have a statement from the U.S. Capitol Police. Reporting in Rocky River, Maya Lockett, News 5.
All right, Maya, thank you so much.
We really do have an issue here. This dude is a family medicine physician in Cleveland. At least he turned himself in, but he ran. You heard all that. He ran Miller off the road. And Miller had his 1-year-old daughter as part of an anti-Semitic rant. Of course, nobody is going to comment on this from the Hamdan side. Feras Hamdan, this doctor, he's got a $500,000 bail or bond. I'm sorry, $500,000 is a joke. You know that he's going to be able to raise it with all of these groups that are pro-Palestine. All he has to do is a GoFundMe page. But this is what's happening. December 2023, an anti-Israel House staffer confronted him in the halls of Canton. This is Miller. Miller got faced in 2023 by an anti-Israel House staffer, confronted him in the halls of Canton office building and said, "Free Palestine," Miller told Free Beacon in an interview at that time. So people go after him, I guess partially because he's Jewish. But I don't think this Marine's going to stand down. Hamdan said, "You're a dirty Jew. I'm going to effing kill you all, and I know who you are and where you live." Seriously, this is what the left is supporting. This is what is going through in our whole thing that is the Democrat Party. But hey, y'all support who you want to support. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.